Hey, what's up? It's Jim, and I just got back from the new film Bullet to the Head. It is directed by Walter Hill. It's his first feature film in 11 years, and it's very much in the action genre tradition that Walter Hill is known for. A hitman played by Sylvester Stallone, who has his partner John Cena killed by Jason Momoa because they are set up and killed under this big conspiracy, and so Sylvester Stallone has to team up with a cop played by Sean Kang, and they join forces to find out what exactly the big conspiracy is that killed both of their partners, who's behind this whole thing, and who exactly Jason Momoa is working for, so Stallone can get his revenge. As I said before, this is the big return for Walter Hill. I've been hoping he would return to cinema at some point. He's one of my favorite genre action directors, and I think this film doesn't really disappoint. It mixes noir and westerns and a normal action genre film. The thing about Walter Hill is you can tell he understands those genres very well. When you look at things like even from The Driver to Long Riders to The Warriors, you can always tell that he knows exactly the rules and the motivations behind every specific genre. This is basically an action genre film. I know he has always said that pretty much all his films are westerns. In this film, there's a lot of times where Stallone's in the car with John Cena or he's in the car with Sean Chang, and it feels like an exchange someone would have if they're riding horses with someone in a western. And Stallone has this narration throughout that feels very film noir-esque to it, and this film kind of mixes in both very well. A lot of the action sequences, the way they're staged, and specifically how they're edited, this does have quick cutting in it, but what's interesting is most of the time when I see quick cutting in an action film, it's because they're trying to cover something up because it was staged badly. And in this film, I noticed when the cuts were going on, it wasn't that it was staged badly, it's that he's trying to do something like Peckinpah, like what he did in a film I recently reviewed, Extreme Prejudice, because he understands where quick editing came from. He's not just doing quick editing to cover something up, he's doing quick editing to actually make it more exciting. He's not afraid of his staging of his action sequence, he's actually making it better with quick cutting, and very effectively. And I noticed that in his films when he does fast editing, you can always tell what's going on. There's a difference between quick cutting and you're like, what just happened, and the quick cutting in most Walter Hill films, and especially in Bullet to the Head, where I know exactly what's going on in the action sequence. It's totally thrilling, it's totally exciting, it's a fun action sequence, it's a very well done action sequence, and it seems to know still very well how to do that, and that was really an exciting part of Bullet to the Head. Stallone's character is mean and tough and macho. This is probably one of his better roles I can think of in his kind of new millennium career that he's had recently. It's definitely one of my favorite roles he's done. He's so tough, and his voice even sounds deeper for some reason. I felt like his voice was deeper. Maybe that's just the effect of his character was having on me, but it definitely felt like did they tone down the bass in his voice somehow when they were mixing it? No nonsense, un-PC, has his own morals kind of guy, and he fits within the Walter Hill model, and Stallone seemed to be very much up to the challenge, and it's very well cast. Most Walter Hill films are very well cast. He's very good at picking the right actors. However, in this film, I didn't really like Sean Chang. I kind of felt he brought down the film. I like him in films like Fast 5 and the other Fast and the Furious films, but in this film I kind of just felt like he dragged down some scenes. He wasn't really up to par with people like Christian Slater and Jason Momoa and Sylvester Stallone. Now, not to say the acting is award-winning or incredible. It's an action genre film, but he did definitely bring it down. He's more used to the newer Fast 5 films where he's part of an ensemble. I don't think he was as used to having this much focus on him as an actor. The other thing I didn't like is sometimes he do these transitions where everything would suddenly flash. That was a little annoying. Couldn't we have just taken those out? That just seemed unnecessary and stupid. I didn't really understand it. It was fun seeing a Walter Hill film again. It was fun seeing an action film with Stallone like this, where he's tough and mean and gruff and doesn't really give a fuck and beats the shit out of guys and will shoot people at a moment's notice. I really like the feeling of this movie, kind of the mean, macho, testosterone-filled movie, and it's a cool movie for Walter Hill to come back with. Although he was doing TV, he did an episode of Deadwood, he did Broken Trail. I wish he would do more action genre films like this, kind of give them a kick in the ass after seeing crap like Parker. Walter Hill has an intelligence about him and a knowledge of filmmakers that he really brings to his projects. Now, this isn't an amazingly directed film, but for a genre film, it was pretty well put together. It's not as good as the 70s and 80s stuff, but I think it's on par with a lot of the stuff he made in the 90s. It's maybe better than a lot of the stuff he made in the 90s. It does fall within its own genre cliches, but I think somebody like Walter Hill seems to know how to use those cliches within an action genre film better than a lot of genre filmmakers seem to know how to do. It's a little bit smaller and quieter than we're used used to from an action film and a genre film at this point. Certainly you could just think this is a B film. It's such a lean, economical way of filmmaking that we're almost not used to the way he's so straightforward, but I like that. It shows what a master genre filmmaker can really do with kind of a simple, lean, structured film like this. He can work that genre to its bare bones in kind of a cool testosterone punch at the audience, and it might feel quieter and simpler, but in the end you're like, yeah, but that was pretty cool in the end, even though it felt stupid, even though it felt kind of silly and simple. I always walk away, even from his kind of big, dumber action movies, like, yeah, but in its simplicity, it's so direct that was exactly what I want from an action genre film, and there's something really awesome about that. So if you have seen Bullet to the Head and you would like to talk about it, then comment below in the comments, and subscribe if you would like to. I like seeing John Cena because I am a fan of Homicide: Life on the Street, and I never see him in anything. I was like, cool, John Cena. I never see him anymore.